everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I'm a full-time reseller. On today's video, I do have my What Sold Wednesday video. This will be for February 17th through the 23rd. If you hear some humming, I do have my little space heater on. It is a little chilly in Wisconsin. We're almost to spring, but I did just hear that tomorrow I'm filming this. Let's see, on March 3rd, we're supposed to get, I think it's like tomorrow night into Wednesday, we're supposed to get 2 to 4 inches of snow. So we're slowly getting into spring. The snow is almost gone. I'm sure it probably won't be too big of a deal. So I have to look at my notes here for this week since I am filming a little bit later than I normally do. Let's see, Poshmark 15 sales. It was a little bit busier, but they were more like smaller sales. I think they were closer to like $15 to $20 if I remember correctly. Mercari, only 2 sales. I'm going to talk about Mercari at the end of the video. eBay definitely picked up. I had 18 sales. A lot of those were with that 15% off coupon that I talked about last week. And then Depop, 5 sales, and they were kind of smaller ones. Okay, so I will get right into it, starting on Poshmark. This was a pair of Old Navy corduroy, they were flared jeans, a size 10. Were these new? No, these were not new. I got these at Savers. I think they were only $4.99, and I went on Thursday, so everything is 20% off. That was a really good price for Savers, because normally any pair of pants, regardless of what they are, they're like at least $9, and if they are a brand name, we're looking closer to like 18. So I definitely picked these up. When it comes to Old Navy, I'm pretty strategic, especially on their pants. Jeans, I have just been completely leaving behind. They do not sell well for me. Plato's doesn't seem to take them very often. Sometimes they will if they're new with tags. If I get them at the bins, I'll maybe try Plato's. But to sell them myself, I don't really do that. The only types of pants I'll be picking up from Old Navy will be something like this, where it's like corduroy, flare. If it is leggings or workout wear, especially in plus sizes, new with tags obviously helps. And then anything that is like linen or vacation type pants, those normally do pretty well for me. So these did end up going for an offer of $22. Next is a pair of Miss Me jeans. Anytime that I'm selling jeans that have these really bedazzled back pockets, so Miss Me, Rock Revival, some of, what is that other brand? Vagas, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. They have backs that are kind of like this. There's some other, like, lower end brands as well. For my cover photo, I always make sure to have a close-up on those pockets. That is what the people are looking for that want to buy these pants, is to see, how elaborate is the beading or the bling or whatever. So that is always my cover photo. I will show the full pair of jeans in the other photos, but this is just going to catch their eye. This one went for $30 and it was a size 28. I'm pretty sure these came from the bins. I've been finding Miss Me jeans at the bins, and I think it's because the store that our bins are affiliated with, for whatever reason, Miss Me jeans, regardless of the quality of them, they put like $28. That is insane to me. Some of them, like, the crotches are blown out, the butts kind of all screwed up, there's missing studs, and it's just like, no one's paying $28 for a pair of jeans that no one can even wear any longer. So anyways, these were in really good condition. Like I said, a size 28, and they did go for $30. Next up, I don't know how to pronounce this brand, Lize? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I've never heard it before. This was picked up at the bins kind of based on the style of it. I did check comps. Comps looked okay, but I did have this for quite a while. It was just a printed jumpsuit, wide leg. What size was it? Size small, and it was new with tags. So this one actually went for my full asking price of $30. This is the brand Body Central. I think that this probably would have been sold in, I don't even know, like the Deb, Wet Seal. That's kind of the vibe that it's giving me. This whole like club wear, Jersey Shore, same thing with the Miss Me jeans. This is definitely making a resurgence. I picked this up at the bins because I wanted to try it out. I wasn't sure, how fast this was going to go. It probably took quite a few months. And this one did have some self-tanner, go figure, that was on the inside of the dress. I tried my best to get it off. It was pretty much gone, but it was a little bit noticeable. But like I said, it was like on the inside of the tie part of the neck. So it's not like anyone's going to see it. So someone did get it for $18. Would I pick this style up again? Potentially, but I think I'm gonna have to make sure it's like in pristine condition. Next is a pair of Raffaella pants. I think I'm saying that right. These were houndstooth pull-on. What size were these? 18, new with tags. This came from that place where everything was $1. I'm trying to move that all out because I have that in a separate like bin, and I want to get rid of that bin, or like have enough that is gone so the stuff that I do have remaining I can put in my other inventory bins. So I'm sending pretty big offers on those items, or accepting most offers. So this finally did go for $15. This came from my dad's stuff. It was, what was this? A 1991 limited edition tin of crayons. The crayons are in there. It's all sealed. Comps didn't look great on this, but since it was free to me, I thought I would give it a try, and it did go for $15. This is a pair of Torrid jeans. These I've had for a really long time, and I'm not sure why. This is a great style. It's a great wash. It was a size 22. But Torrid is another one that I've kind of given up on the jeans. I used to be able to flip Torrid jeans extremely quickly, and for like $20 to $30. Now they just sit. So I'm no longer picking up Torrid jeans. I would maybe consider it if there were newer tags and a newer style, but for the most part, I am leaving Torrid jeans behind. This is a pair of All in Motion shorts. This also came from the place that everything was $1. They were men's 2XL. They had sun protection in them, new with tags, and it did go for $15. This Anthropologie Maeve dress was really cute. It had this little tie detail in the front, some cutouts on the, not really the shoulders, more like your collarbone area. It was an extra small. I think that's why it took a little while to sell, but it did finally go for $36. This Coldwater Creek dress sold pretty quickly. This was also a bins pickup. I've talked about this brand in the past that normally I am picking it up based on style. This one I think was kind of more based on the actual clientele for that brand. This is a really pretty dress. You know, it's very casual. It was red. It had floral all over, some really pretty flutter type sleeves, and it was an 18W. This one did go for my full asking price of $28, and I think this sold within about 2 months. This was a vintage Pyrex dish in the Crazy Daisy pattern. This was given to me, so I thought I would try listing it. If I were to purchase these, if I were to purchase vintage Pyrex, I would really make sure I'm looking at what I have, what the sell-through rate is, and how much is currently out there. There are some sought-after patterns and pieces in certain sizes. This one is pretty generic. It did take a little while to sell, and it did go for $22. This is from the brand Faye, or F-A-E. I have never heard of it before. It was at Goodwill. It was new with tags, so I thought I would look it up. I'm glad I did. Comps were kind of all over the place, and this did take a little while to sell. It was a size small, but you definitely needed the right person to buy it because it was a pretty low cut top, and then this, like by your hips, that went up pretty high too, so you definitely needed to have somebody that's looking for more of a sexier swimsuit, and it did finally go for $30. Honeylove is one of my favorite brands to sell when it comes to bras or shapewear. This was a size 2X. I can't remember where this came from. I think it came from Goodwill. I probably paid full price. All of their bras are $3.99 unless they put them in the boutique section. So $4 into $25, and this probably only took like 2 months to sell. Next is Dress Barn. This brand is geared more towards mature women. I picked this up at the bins just based on the style of it. I figured this would be perfect for like a winter wedding, or if you were a mother of the groom or bride, or even maybe like a holiday party. It was a size 18W. It had beading on it, and it had the little clasp up at the neckline, and it did go for $17. I still do really well with Judy Blue. Some of the jeans sit for a little bit, but the more current styles seem to fly out of my closet. This one was, let's see, a straight in a size 1331, and this one did go for $25. Now on to Mercari. This was an Old Navy sports bra. I picked this up at the bins. It was a size 3X, and it did go for an offer of $16.50. This was a vintage set of faux wicker baskets. They were like plastic. You could put flowers in them, hang them on the wall. These ended up going for $16. This was another item that was given to me. I probably would not purchase these unless I got them at the Goodwill bins. This was, let's see, like a black sheer cover-up. Torrid swimsuits and cover-ups normally do very well for me as long as they are either new with tags or in excellent condition. This one fit a 1X to a 2X. This sold the same day that I listed it. It did go for my 15% off coupon, so it did go for $18.70. This was a Rachel Zoe 100% linen top, size medium. I find these at the bins all the time. I always pick them up. They are great to use vacation words like beachy, vacation, cruise, resort, all of those. They normally move pretty quickly. This one also went with the 15% off coupon and went for $18. This Title IX dress, I did pay full price at Goodwill, $7.99. This one was actually from, I believe, spring of 2024. It was in excellent condition. It was still currently on their website, I think for like $120 or something along those lines. This one was a size medium, and it did go for an offer of $68. This was a lot of 2 of Pantene Pro V Extra Stronghold Texture Buildable Hairspray. 2 of them that were 11 ounces. It did go for an offer of $33.99. I don't know if this is discontinued or not. I've mentioned this before on my channel. My mom she used to be a bigger couponer, but she still does some. She has a whole bunch of different items in her basement that she has gotten with coupons, clearance, that kind of stuff. So this could be discontinued. I took some time one day and just started scanning everything, and we are splitting the profits on this. So like I said, this one went for $33.99. This is a pair of Gap jeans. These were a medium wash, stretch cropped in a size 10 petite. Gap jeans are really like hit or miss for me. I definitely make sure to look up the style. Most Gap jeans, even older ones, should have a style name in the tag or on the little waistband. Comps were okay on these. I did have these for quite a while. It could be because they were petite, I'm not sure, but they did finally go for $23.80. This was a Ruby Road top. I would not have picked this up myself. It came in that box of clothes. I think I talked about that last week. It was like a Y2K something rather from Rag House. I didn't expect this one to sell quickly. It was actually the first thing that sold from, I think it was the first thing that sold from that box. It was new with tags, just kind of like a, abstract print kind of to it, and it did go for $16.15. Foundry, I think I showed this in a haul. This I got at the bins mainly because of the size. It was a 3X tall, which I know some men have some issues finding, the bigger sizes with the tall. This was new with tags. I think it came from JCPenney, and this one did go for an offer of $17. This was an Izod sweater. I picked this up mainly due to style. It was a quarter zip, had a pretty cool design on it, a cream, really chunky knit. This one did end up going for $25.50. This was a vintage clock that it was originally my grandma's, and then it was in my parents' garage forever. And my mom was like, do you want to try and sell it? It had quite a bit of cosmetic damage to it, but it did still work. There was a lot of interest on this, but no one ended up, making any offers or anything, and it did finally go for $20. This was a Talbot's top. I picked this up at the bins mainly based on size and style. It was a really pretty bright, springy type top, and it was also a 3X petite. This one did not take long to sell at all, and it did go for $18.70. This chaps dress I've had, I think, since last winter. It was a houndstooth, kind of like a sweater type material. It was a size medium, and this one did go for $25.50. This was an all-in-motion jumpsuit. I normally pick these up at the bins when I see them. They move pretty quickly. One keyword I do use is on the go and travel with these. This was a size small, and it did go for $18.70. This was a style-based pickup in this really pretty, like, earthy green color, very fairy. It had the asymmetrical hem. It had beading underneath the bust. It did have a little snag and I think a couple spots of small discoloration. This one did go for an offer of $19.55. Social Standard, I got all these swimsuits at that place where everything was $1, but these were 50 cents. So I have quite a few of these swimsuits. What did I get? I got these and some. I have it in this floral pattern. I have it in like a strappier pink one and maybe like a black one. That might be a different brand. But I'm definitely in the green with that because the first one I sold was like $20 some and I think I only paid like $15 for 30 of them. So hopefully they just keep continuing to sell. This one did go for $21.25. I might have shown this top in a haul, I can't remember. This is Maurice's, definitely from Y2K era. It was semi-sheer, it had this all over print button front, it had this little belt tie. This one I did use keywords like office siren and emo, and this one did go for my full asking price of $18. This was a set of Packer glasses that were in my parents' bar. They've been kind of going through stuff. as they're getting older, they're realizing, you know, we're not throwing as many parties anymore. We don't need all of this stuff in the basement. So I have been selling some of it for them. This one ended up going for $16.14. This was a J. Jill floral top, long sleeve. It had a lot of stretch to it, and it was a 3X. I picked this up at the bins. This was in excellent condition, and it did go for $26.99. These jeans I did get at JCPenney when they had their clearance event. I got it mainly based off style. The brand is, I don't know if it's Anna or ANA, what is it, A New Approach. They were a 6 long, but they did have a pretty big flare to them. So I thought that the style would definitely help it sell. If they didn't sell online, I knew Plato's would take it. That's why I got those, and they did go for $19.55. This is a Talbot's cardigan. I really liked the look to this. It almost kind of had like a groovy 70s vibe. This one was a size large. It was picked up at the bins, and it did go for an offer of $21. Now onto Depop. This was kind of a boxier looking sleeveless blouse, kind of a grungy look to it, and it did go for $14.40. This was a vintage exhilaration. It had some stud detail and a cross on it. This one was a size medium, and this one did go for $16. This was a Mickey Mouse, like almost like jersey vibe to it. It was new with tags. I picked this up at Goodwill. This sold within 2 days of listing, and it did go for my full asking price of $22. This dress also came from the place where everything was $1. It was Wild Fable. It definitely had a dark cottage core, kind of witchy peasant type look to it. Size, what was this one? A size medium, and this did go for my full asking price of $20. And then the last item to sell this week, this was definitely style based. It was a sleeveless blouse again, so a lot of sleeveless tops going. This one kind of had like that crinkly type feel to the fabric. It was a size large, and it did go for $20. So quite a few smaller amount sales going out this week, which I'm totally fine. Most of the items that I am getting come from the bins, and my average cost of goods normally, depending on, you know, what I'm picking up, if there's a day where it's a little bit heavier with jeans and coats, it might be closer to $2, but it's normally like around $130 to $180. And most of that kind of stuff is selling on Depop or eBay, where the shipping is fairly cheap, especially because there are a lot of these, you know, kind of daintier type tops. So I have no problem paying, you know, $1 to $2, having them flip in under 3 months for $15 to $17. So I said I was going to bring up Mercari. I'm kind of thinking about maybe dropping Mercari. I do have sales there sometimes, but I feel like it's just not warranting enough for the time I'm putting in. And you're probably thinking, you know, you use a cross lister and everything, but that's still time that I have to go in there to cross list there. And then when something does sell on another site, I need to make sure I'm going into Mercari and delisting it there. I need to make sure I am sending out offers on Mercari. So I'm just kind of wondering if maybe I should get rid of it. If I pull up my sales from the last couple weeks, I'd have to look. I haven't done my numbers yet for this coming week. I don't think I had any sales on Mercari. This week that I'm going over, I only had 2. The week before that, I did have 7. And the week before that, 6, 6, 4, 4, 3, 4, 1, 2. So it's like there are some sales there, but I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Are you still posting to Mercari? Are you getting a lot of sales on Mercari? I feel like they are ones that they're constantly changing how they're doing things over there. So I'm wondering if maybe the buyer base has just kind of left. I might have talked about this last week, but I am definitely looking when I'm at the bins to start bundling items. The way that the economy is headed right now, people are going to be looking for deals wherever they can get them. And I think they're going to be passing up on stuff that maybe, you know, is stuff that is not a necessity at this moment. So I'm looking for items that I can bundle together that people are going to need. So potentially that could be like career wear. I know a lot of places are having people come back from the office, so you potentially might need to have, you know, nicer clothes that you didn't have when you were working at home. So if I can find, you know, a couple pair of loft pants to put together, a couple Ann Taylor tops or Old Navy tops, maybe even some like denim shorts. People are going to start looking for summer stuff, and if I can find maybe some lower end brand shorts, lot them up together, that might be a little bit more enticing for a buyer to say, you know, I don't want to pay $15 to $18 for a pair of shorts, but I'd maybe pay like $35 for 3 to 4 pairs of shorts, you know? So that's kind of the idea that I'm going with, as long as I can find it in similar sizes, especially with the lower tiered brands. If I can find stuff that's more in like the teen to young adult, I would prefer to list it as a bundle than to send it to Plato's and, you know, only get like $1 or $2 for it. So that's kind of what I am starting to do while I'm at the bins. I did want to go over, I talked about it in my, what was that, work with me or a vlog, whichever that one was, one of my last videos, about the ThredUp, what are we calling them now? Premium labels. So with this one, I did pay $24 for the service fee. That's just to get the label. And then I did also pay $10.99 for return items that are not accepted. They took everything. So they waived that $10.99 fee, so I'm only paying $24. Nothing has gone past the time for a return yet, but I did want to tell you, for the items that have sold but could still be returned, I wanted to just kind of give you some payouts because I was absolutely blown away. I mean, obviously I did put in better brands than I normally do, but I just wanted to let you know. So this Joie dress, I have a whole bunch of them that I picked up from the place where everything was $1. That one, my payout was $17.69. So if no one, you know, returns it, that's how much I'm going to get for that. Let's see. Like a Torrid dress, $7.22. These Michael Kors sneakers, $8.65. This Katie May cocktail dress, I have had this forever. I've sent out so many different offers on that, and I was like, I'm putting it in the box. That one I'm going to get $20.73. I was shocked by that. This Valentino trench coat, I got this at Savers for $18 like 2 years ago. There was some interest on it, and no one ever paid for it. That one sold like immediately, and that one I will get $43.97. There are still some smaller ones, like a Talbot's top, $169, Jones New York dress, $345. I have an Eileen Fisher cardigan in here, $11.91. A Joseph Ribkoff casual skirt. That was returned, but if someone does buy that, I will get $14.33. That brand does very well on ThredUp. I don't know why that is. When I try and sell it myself, it takes forever. So that might be something, if you guys have those kind of brands that maybe have been sitting for you forever and you just want to get rid of them, I would maybe consider the premium kit. I think that's what did I say? I think that's what it's called. What did I call it? The consignment premium? I don't know. The one that's more expensive. I would look into it because this has been stuff that has just been sitting in my bins for years, and I've been getting nothing. So, you know, I put it in a box, sent it out. I still have like 60 days on most of these items to sell, so I'm hoping more of them do and they don't get returned. So going forward with ThredUp, I probably won't be utilizing the original bag or whatever they're calling it, where it's like the $14.99. I will do something else with those clothes. I'm thinking what I might end up doing with a lot of the stuff that like Plato's doesn't take, I'm going to look into different things in my community that can use them, as opposed to just bagging them up and bringing them to Goodwill. I would prefer to take them somewhere where there's actually people in need that are going to utilize that. There's a couple different places I'm thinking about in town. There is the place I've talked about before where they take kids' clothing, young adults, they put them in boxes based on sizes. Then parents can come and say, hey, you know, I need clothing for a female 12-year-old. And they will get a box full of gently used clothes. So they have that. There is also an organization in town. I need to look into it a little bit because I know I saw it, I think it was like last spring. They were doing an event for the LGBTQ plus community in town. So if people were looking for clothing, they could come there and kind of like look through all of the racks that they had. So I don't know if they're always taking clothing, but I'd have to look into that. The women's shelters around here don't take clothing from what I understand. I think they only take undergarments that are new in packaging. I just think they don't have room at the places that they have for clothes. I would feel much better helping my community that way rather than just, you know, throwing them in bags and sending them to Goodwill. So let me know in the comments below, how have sales been going now that we are into March? Are they picking up? Are you selling more spring, summer stuff? Let me know. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.